Okay, sweet. Okay, so the main update is the marketplace is coming in the next few days. We're going to try our best to deploy the contracts and then create a DAO vote to launch the protocol. Our goal is hopefully to do that within the next few days. I'm not going to give an exact date, but that is our main update. We're going to launch, and we're not really going to give too many updates other than that.
We're going to try to do it for Friday, and that is stops it. In which case, we'll need to do a week.
Yeah, so Tyler says our goal is Friday.
Yeah, let me put it this way. We are forming the proposal right now, and we plan on putting it in on Friday. So, we're there, people.
Nice. All right, so we're going to jump right into the first question, which is resistance. What if someone plugs into Universe and makes a marketplace on their website? Will Universe get a portion of the fees from the trades there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's gonna be a couple ways this works though. So there will be front ends that have the ability to plug in and use it, and there'll be I'm calling it kind of like a finder's fee. And that front end will be able to keep it, but the protocol itself, which is the DAO, which is Universe, it will get its cut. So it's being designed in a way to incentivize other front ends to use the back end and our marketplace, so that they can be sustainable, but it also sustains the protocol.
Well said.
Thank you.
So I think that definitely answers that. The next question is when vote. Hopefully Friday if all goes to plan. And
well, there's a warm up. There's a warm up period. There's a warm up period. So on Friday, everyone will have a couple days to stake their XYZ if you don't have it staked. And then once that warm up period is done, there'll be a snapshot, and whoever was staked during that warm up period, then you'll be able to vote. So the vote will probably, if it goes in on Friday, it's either going to start Sunday or it's going to start Monday. And I don't fully remember right now, so I'm sorry about that. But you'll have I think it's 4 days to vote. So it will be, you're going to have ample time. Just make sure you're staked during the warm up period. And when the warm up period ends, you're staked. So you'll have this weekend to get in. We don't see any reason not to put the proposal in on Friday. I had some internal talks with everyone about that. So unless something catastrophic occurs, which I don't foresee happening, everyone should be able to check out the proposal on Friday, and the warm-up period will start.
Nice. Okay. I went and read ahead, Troy. I think these next few questions might be best for you to answer, or you can decide what to answer, but Chad has a series of questions. The first one is, why must we vote on the proposal that would never be voted against? Is it only for legal reasons that the team distributes responsibility as well as aligning incentives? I guess that's the first question.
I can answer that. So it's a little bit of both, but it's better if it's a community that wants to launch something like this, it's obviously better to show that it's being activated by the whole community, so everyone can share in that. But yeah, there's some legal stuff around that too. I'm surprised more DAOs don't do it that way, but I actually think it's kind of cool, personally.
Yeah, essentially Tyler had a few talks with other founders in the industry, and they had also recommended that we do it this way. And then Chad had some other questions.
So
We should have minted the minting contracts through that, but the exchange of like NFTs themselves, like it is an exchange, NFT exchange, and like ultimately it's run by the DAO, so it should be activated by the DAO. Like the truth is we probably should have gone through that process for the minting, and I think future minting contracts will go through.
You can also see some of the information about our minting and marketplace and our auctions in our white paper as well. I want to point out.
Yeah, I mean, Chad, the reason to answer these other questions you have is simply I think this was something that came up within really the last month and a half that we kind of decided to do it this way.
It was on the finish line that we decided that we should go through this process. And I think that we all agreed that it was the right move. So it's not a punt so that we can get more work done. I mean, that week's going to be nice for us to deal with kinks, but ultimately the thing is done, and we should and are going through the DAO vote process.
Yeah, so just a little bit to add to that. So this will also give us, basically the community is going to be able to audit the contracts. Like when the DAO proposal is launched, the contracts will be in place, and the DAO proposal is to basically specify that the DAO is the owner of these contracts. And so this will allow the community to review our work, and, if something is wrong, we can always, either not pass the vote or we can abrogate the vote. So we can always, iterate if something's wrong. I don't expect that will happen, but it gives the community the chance to review our work, to review the smart contracts, make sure that everything is 100% solid before it actually goes live.
Yeah, that's an extremely good point too. James F's question was, what were some of the kinks holding up launch? I would say we had some issues with our backend scraper, and
just testing.
It just was testing and fixing things. I mean, when you're building things like this, it seems like once you fix something, another thing breaks, and then
it's also standard for launching a large piece of software.
Yeah, exactly. This is like an application. This is like a full-on application that had to be worked out. So this isn't like we're just launching smart contracts into the network that are going to run. There's literally a software application behind the whole thing, and working through those kinks and edge cases takes a while, because it's not a simple, it's not just running computations on Ethereum. It's doing a lot. So it's a very sophisticated application that takes time, and we've all learned that the hard way.
Yeah. So the data scraper is very complex. So it consists of 10 to 12 microservices, multiple replicas of each of those microservices that are analyzing the entire blockchain. So every NFT and every transaction that NFT has ever been a part of. And so it's not just the wallets that are connected to Universe, it's the entire blockchain. So it's highly complex, and we've gone through many iterations of improving this. One example is that, we are now looking at an improvement where the scraper runs both forwards and backwards in time. So we give it a start block that is a recent block, and it monitors all the recent transactions. And then it also goes backwards in time so that you guys get all of the most recent transactions first, as opposed to starting 3 years in the past and going forward from there. So there's, a lot of very complex parts to this project, but I'm confident that it will be absolutely perfect by the time we release it to the public.
James F's next question was, why is the XYZ PriceBot gone? Any reason for that?
I see it.
It's up. It's just in the Universe Dash. It's not under crypto price bots. So the crypto price bots are, ETH and Bitcoin, and then you have the XYZ PriceBot right above in the universe dash. So
Hey, can I jump in for a
they've
sec?
just been. What's up?
Hey, I was just saying, yeah, it's back now, but was gone. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure other
Maybe
people
someone
could.
fixed it when
Okay.
they
It's
were
a
reading.
bot, so it goes down sometimes. Like Infura can go down. I don't know what it runs, but like we work with a
Discord
group
can
and
go down.
when it gets fixed.
Yeah, some of those things probably had to get like turned
Rebooted.
back on by the bot master.
Yeah, Discord tweeted and told everyone to go outside.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
No, all good. Thank you, because we like to get those things back up because we know people come in here and look at them. So we appreciate it. Otto Bobro has a question, which is, what is the decentralization model of Universe XYZ?
I don't understand that question.
I mean, our model is to decentralize everything that we can and look at the industry and decentralize the centralized aspects of it. I mean, we're going to continue to build and try to decentralize everything that we can around NFTs, and we have that's our main goal, is decentralize every aspect of this protocol.
Yeah, so just a little bit to add on to that. So there are certain things that you simply can't decentralize on the blockchain right now. You can't put Kubernetes on the blockchain. You can't put a database on the blockchain. So we can decentralize with respect to the smart contracts, with respect to the DAO proposals, but there's just certain things that still have to be on Web 2.
But we'll build to those things, and eventually, hopefully there are ways to decentralize some of these things, and we'll get there. And we'll make proposals and we'll build towards that.
Yeah, so like as soon as Internet Computer or Fleek are mature products, we will certainly be looking at deploying on there. Right now, it's just not quite at that stage yet. So we still need certain components that are on cloud providers. There's just no way around that right now.
All right, Chad has another question. What does the autonomous part of the DAO first governance model mean to the Universe team? In other words, how will Universe continue to remain governed with the autonomy as its distribution continues?
Well, the autonomous part is just that the contracts run and like no one can turn them. So like we could literally shut down the front end that runs the DAO, and like someone else could ultimately like put one. So the contracts run autonomous from no one on the core team to exist in order for the DAO to function properly. So like that word of it is basically saying that it can run autonomous from a centralized authority. I don't know.
You're cutting in. Yeah, you're cutting in and out, Tyler. So check your mic threshold settings and push to talk and all that good stuff.
I just think he was a little further away from the
Yeah, I
mic.
was just sitting next to Mark.
He's talking on my computer.
I was just saying that the contracts run autonomous from any like centralized entity. So like it's a decentralized organization that runs autonomous. It doesn't need a centralized entity. And as far as like running autonomously as like distribution continues, the point of that is that like the plan for distributing more of the token is to put it in the hands of more people, because like right now, depending on what like the distribution cuts ultimately look like, there's probably less people that can push a DAO vote forward than what the hope would be, that in come it becomes more and more and more decentralized, meaning there's more holders for voting, partaking in governance on the network. But the ultimate plan is that if like something were happened to me personally, like the DAO doesn't need to be able to autonomous run, like it runs autonomous.
And that's the beauty of decentralization, team. Okay. Algo Magic Beans has a question.
Hey, I just wanna say something because I just got a DM from a fake polymorphs announcement. We're obviously not minting polymorphs. Don't click on any DMs ever. We're not gonna ever DM you. Me and Rain are gonna go ban these people.
Good work. All right. Algo Magic Beans' question is, are there any features that will come with the release of the marketplace that other key competitors will not have? I think Chuba's favorite feature is the fact that we're going to have on-chain order book. I don't think that anyone in the industry has that. And essentially, Chuba would be the best person to explain why that is more powerful. But essentially, the way I understand it is that when you have on-chain orders, like how OpenSea has front-end hacks, it's a lot harder, if not impossible, to hack one of these on-chain orders, basically from our front end or another front end, unless you like interact with a contract that's like bugged. That's kind of
Yeah, the on-chain orders, we've had the contracts written for this for a while. I don't think they're going to be releasing the first version of the front end, so in the first sprint. But essentially, the reason I like them a lot is because like other contracts can hook into them and leverage like floor bids and stuff like that if they need a source of NFT liquidity on chain. And I don't know, I'm excited about that. So we'll see what kind of cool things people can do and make with it.
Yeah, and essentially we are going to be the first decentralized protocol marketplace. Zora is a protocol, but they are a centralized entity, and we are not. We are a DAO, and essentially it goes back to that decentralization talk, and some of these questions we've had today is and why we deployed or why we're going to deploy our contracts with the DAO is because it just seems like that's how it needs to be, and how these things need to be done from now on. And hopefully, if you're listening to this conversation, you've already heard, kind of our reasons to why we've been doing. Thank you for the questions. I think that we answered kind of the rest of this question, but we are going to bring like bulk listings and all sorts of like floor bidding and cool stuff like that. But like Chuba says, we're going to bring a lot of those things on in like second iterations, because kind of the best way to scale this is not put it all up at one time. It's kind of release it in segments, and but we have a lot of work that we've done, and we just want to kind of release it in sections, just because it's easier to maintain stuff from breaking, and you can find what happens easier. So it's just a better way to do this from a development standpoint.
This guy James asked a question, just because me and Troy have to hop in 10 minutes. Basically, questions for the Universe dev team work. That would be a major move towards decentralization, but everything I've heard, I'm not a dev, so I don't know. If Troy wants to add to what I'm about, I would say that place more trust in Dfinity working than what it probably deserves. I think like the coming year will determine if Dfinity will quote unquote work. Right now it doesn't, but I know Troy's talked to them quite a bit, and I have nothing but respect for Dfinity, and know doing is
Tyler, you gotta speak up. Your mic's cutting in and out from the threshold.
I was just saying that as far as Dfinity, I think that we probably put more faith in Dfinity than what it deserved. I wouldn't say that it works for any of the use cases we need it to right now. But what they're building is ambitious, and I have respect for that team, and I hope that it will work at some point. But from my understanding, it doesn't really do much of what we thought it was going to do when we set out a year ago on this journey.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, I would say it's probably still pretty far out, but I do know they're still developing. It's kind of entangled in a lot of, seems like internal stuff going on. So I haven't talked to them in a while, but it's on my list to like reach out to them soon. But there's just a bunch of other stuff that it's more important to get done. And then we have some other solutions that we're cooking up that will help alleviate some of the stuff that we were planning on Dfinity doing. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, we're building a lot. Chicago 09 has one more question. I think we've answered this in the past. This kind of goes back to the question last week about, Fiat on-ramps. Will Universe deploy to Moonbeam? I'm pretty sure that is the thing that OpenSea uses, so you can use a credit card. We are not planning on using any type of Fiat on-ramp system like that for our marketplace right now.
Well, can I chime in on that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really hard to set up a Fiat on-ramp with a DAO because you don't have an entity. In fact, it's completely impossible. But what we are doing is we are incentivizing those marketplaces that are those front ends that attach onto our back ends, and they can facilitate those type of connections. So I don't really want to drop too much, but Graviton itself is an entity that could do something like that. And I'll just leave it at that. So I would say Universe won't be using it, but I would expect to see other front ends use it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Okay.
Graviton.
I think that is all the questions we have. Algo asked if Dfinity is ICP blockchain, and it is, yes. It's a cool product. They have some cool chads over there, and they're cool people. So we definitely wish them the best. So if nobody has any other questions,
Other than that guy James's thing is actually, that's a good idea. Once we launch the marketplace, I think a spreadsheet with just generalized sprints is probably a good idea so that you know what features are coming. Because you're right, it is going to result in a bunch of questions constantly. So maybe that's something that
I think that's something that we could do for the newsletter. We had plans of doing a newsletter, and then our marketplace had kind of gotten delayed, and I think that we have a lot coming out between the polymorphs, our minting contracts, a lot. James is saying Notion. Maybe a public Notion would be good.
Yeah, the auctions. I think if maybe Mark and Rain can help put something like that together. We use Notion, so yeah, we'll create a public Notion. It's a good idea.
We'll work on
ultimately,
it.
we'll figure out a format that works.
It's a great suggestion.
Definitely down.
Yeah, Rain loves that kind of shit. Rain was literally asking me about it the other day. He's he kind of said something like that, but he wanted it for himself. Well, a lot of feature requests have come through the support, and we have been taking feature requests and putting them into our internal Slack. We can create a feature request channel, but sometimes the discussions get a little bit lengthy, and then you don't really, it's not the best place to go look for, just be okay, here's a list. So this is definitely something we've thought about too. But right now, the way that we're taking the feature requests is through the support, or how they've just been coming in, actually. We didn't really say to give them to us like that. I'm pretty sure we already have a channel too about like feature requests. Maybe we archived it or moved it. But we'll
You can
we'll
use the
work.
ideas channel, but yeah, I think that doing it through support tickets makes the most sense because of the fact that you get to like actually save that. Like we can actually save that conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like if you look in the ideas channel right now, I mean, there's some serious. I mean, like this dynamic royalties thing. You know, like these are great suggestions. I'm pretty sure we already have pretty dynamic royalties. We've actually been working with Tim Kang on that, and y'all are going to see that as the marketplace launches.
I told the our team that I agree with this point that Rhino Zeros makes. That we should, once we have our marketplace release, work on creating like what he's saying, a homepage that really just like brings people straight to the marketplace. I'm pretty sure that we already have a V2 homepage, but this is something that I definitely agree with, and we'll have something for this.
Yep, for sure. Dima actually has been working on the thing, and I think that we will be able to make that happen. But not in the not right away when it launches. It'll come though, as we scale everything and get everything attached. Okay, I think we don't have any more questions.
So I've got a couple quick notes regarding feature set and how we compare.
I will say, along with the feature request stuff, like I'm working a lot on putting together community checklists and guides that can be used to like make your way through the ecosystem, and so that things are easily understood. I want to work a lot on standards and terms that can be used like frequently and consistently, so everyone's on a similar page.
So I've got another couple quick comments about feature sets and how we might compare it to competitors. So Mark already mentioned that just the fact that we're a DAO and a lot of our stuff will be open sourced is, one of the primary things. And also we have a non-anonymous team. So like if you compare us to LooksRare, that has a completely anonymous team, that all of their stuff is completely closed source, and it also all depends on the OpenSea API. That's just weak. Our stuff doesn't depend on OpenSea at all. We have a non-anonymous team, and we're going to open source as much of our stuff as possible. And you'll also be able to use our APIs to build your own applications on top of. So those are just a couple of things. And then like as far as specific features, like I can't drop too much alpha, but we do have several killer features that are right on the horizon that nobody else in the ecosystem is doing right now. So, we've got some aces up our sleeve that you guys can look forward to in the near future. And also like our data scraper is boss. Like nobody has a data scraper as advanced as ours. Like it's looking at the entire blockchain, every single NFT, every single transaction that's ever happened. And so it's been a massive project, and that in of itself is one of the things that sets us apart from LooksRare. That's just pinging the OpenSea API and pulling down the transactions for only the user that signed in.
Yeah, that thing's a beast. It'd be hard to, yeah. It's a beast. Are these the docs to use for developers to integrate with Universe? We haven't released the docs yet to integrate with developers, but they are going to come right after we launch everything. We will literally have, this is exactly where you'll go. And yes, this is where it's going to be. We'll have how to connect to APIs and how to connect to certain things. And then we'll even add a UI toolkit so that people can take UI from Universe and add it into their front ends if they want. They don't have to, but, we'll make it easy for you.
I have like a question for Zach. Honestly, do we have any updates as far as like Polymorph Lore besides the fact that we're kind of getting more focused on it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because recently, we've always like kind of touched on the Polymorph Lore and like done stuff with it. If you remember, we had a little story that told a little bit about them early on, and then I feel like the community has created a lot of the lore, like around Clown Charles and just like how the scrambling functions. But like recently within the team, we've been working more on like having more built out like lore for the polymorphs. I don't think I was trying to think of like something specific I could share, but I think I'll wait and get something more organized to present to the community. But yeah, we're gonna. We'll have some updates as far as like polymorphs and like what they're doing, like because you guys are wondering like we're out here doing stuff. Where are the polymorphs and what are they doing? So I know everyone's wondering that. We'll have answers for you
Polymorphs are
soon.
going to South by Southwest. The polymorphs are going to South by Southwest. We're going to Fluff World. Or Fluff House. What? Yeah, Fluff House.
All right, guys.
Oh yeah, that should.
Exactly. Yeah, we have some cool stuff.
You're finally going to be able to taste your polymorphs.
Yeah. There's so much funny stuff for like the polymorphs and like cool stuff that we have ready for. I'm excited about it. I try not to hype you guys too much. That's why I was like hoping I could like share a little bit of content on the polymorphs. So, but it doesn't sound like it sounds like I can only hype right now. So I'll chill.
Yeah, we're not telling anybody about that stuff. Okay. We'll talk soon, everybody. It looks like we're out of questions, and we had some really good questions. Thank you, guys. I think that led to a really good discussion. Okay. Thank you, Chads. We love you all. We'll see y'all soon next week.
I have a question.
Oh, nice.
Does Charles? I can't tell if this guy's fat or ripped.
Charles?
Danny DeVito Bob.
Yeah.
He's like Danny DeVito. So like,
Depends what Charles you're talking about too. Honestly.
Honestly, that's a really good question.
Yeah, wait, which
Clown Charles is the peak male form, and I don't know if y'all want to accept that, but that's just the facts. That is.
So you're saying he's strong fat? He's strong fat?
Peak athleticism, exactly.
Strong fat sounds like a really good way to call it what it is.
Thick with 2 C's.
I just need to know. There's too much uncertainty out there.
A lot of people have been wondering.
I think Charles needs to ask his therapist this question.
He's like that meme
Oh,
of that big guy on the
that's a good point.
rollerblades that's been going around. He's doing a backflip on the rollerblades, and he's just like, how? I'll post it in the chat. It's awesome.
All right, I can finally sleep at night. Thank you, guys. That is burning a question in me. Thank you.
Honestly, I think that was a question that none of us really knew we needed to know, but we're glad you asked.
It's what everyone was. You said what everyone was thinking.
It was my turn to be brave today. You're welcome.
Nick's about to send it.
I will say I recently just pushed the call notes. Like they've been kind of delayed, but they went just done 14 to 20. Then we'll do the AMAs once we figure out the best format, and then you guys can always easily reference just all the project information that's come out over the months. There's a lot there, honestly. A lot of questions that are frequently asked are there, so I'll convert those to articles for the knowledge base. So that stuff will all be easy to find in time.
Nice. No, we didn't have a pope this time.
Soap
pope.
You guys gotta join every.
Randomize.
There might be one next week. Gotta tune in to find out, guys.
We'll use the randomizer.
Be prepared that we might do 5 in a row, but we might not.
Yeah, Zach might be lying. He might do it every week. Who knows?
Every other week, yeah, forever.
He's psyopsing y'all really hard. All right, everyone. We appreciate you all, and we'll get back. Unless Somnium's typing a question in which we'll answer it. But all right, no, it looks like he's done. Okay, guys.
All right.
We love you all. See ya, everybody.
Later.
You guys, I'm done. Let's go, Clown Charles.
Up the vibes.